Sean and Joe, another episode ready to go. They're gonna talk about the good and the trash and anything in between. Cherishing make-believe, get ready for Halloween. It's the horror show. I know you missed those guys. Tune in and find out what's on their list tonight. They butcher and dissect, take apart and mutilate. Listen to your two favorite brainiacs communicate. It's the horror show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to The Horror Show. Show dissects, mutilates, dismembers, and butchers all of your favorite and not so favorite horror movies and other horror-related events. I'm Sean.
I'm Joe.
What you doing over there, Joe?
What's going on, man? Just freezing my dick off, per usual. 2021 Horror Show way.
Horror Show. Oh, boy, this week was... I honestly even forgot about the show for a minute this week. I don't know about you, but like I forgot that it was a thing. And then Friday night last night, I was like, oh my God, I have to watch a movie. I have to watch a fucking movie.
So that's really funny. Because usually you upload the movie on our shared Plex site for us both to watch. And it was like, I don't know, 10 o'clock at night, which I'm fucking old and like lazy and, you know, living in my parents' basement. So 10 o'clock on a Saturday, like I'm ready for bed. And it was 10 o'clock and I was like, oh shit, like I gotta hop on Plex, like watch this movie. I saw you didn't put it up there. And I was almost like, maybe we could just take this one off. Like maybe I don't need to watch Project Metalbeast. But I found it on YouTube, so I watched it there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's also on Amazon Prime.
Okay. That's probably a way better version. I wanted to ask you, I actually wanted to ask you before we started recording, like, was the quality of yours good?
It might be better than the YouTube one, but it wasn't great.
Dude, oh my God. And honestly, I that was probably my favorite part about it. Like, you know, sometimes when you're watching a miserable movie, if they like restore it in a 4K, you're just like, this fucking sucks even more. Like, I can see everything that's shitty about it. Like this, you know, it was fucking a terrible quality. So it just kind of added to it.
Yeah, no, here. Oh, Joe, it looks like... Okay, it's slightly better quality, dude. Like, barely. I'm looking at the one you watched. It's very similar, Joe. It's very similar. And it was in the 4:3 ratio. It was in the square ratio on Amazon also. So, yeah, no, that's what we got.
I saw somewhere that it was getting like Blu-ray. Like, what a waste of resources. You know, there's so much like in the world that you could be putting like effort and money into, and you're gonna make Project Metalbeast into a Blu-ray, like upgrading the quality of it.
You know, we have a lot of fans, and I appreciate them, and I respect their decision. They buy lots of Blu-rays. A lot of these like restored older movies, you know, like 80s horror movies. They need to stop. I think it's safe to say they've done all the good ones. I think we can stop. I think we can move forward. Vinegar Syndromes, I'm sorry. No one wants to see a 4K restoration of Project Metalbeast. It's just not. I don't know how they make money on some of the releases they do.
Right?
And I hear
unless it's like a super easy process, like unless we're just being duped and like we could be doing this ourselves. they just want like the monopoly on restoring these, because how are they making money on that? Like there's, you know, I see them. I don't buy from Vinegar Syndrome, but I see them being like, this movie's dropping for a limited time. You can only order it like between 2 and 3 a.m. And it's like, nobody's up then, and nobody's heard of this movie. Like, why are you making a limited run on this?
It's really weird. And Joe, I think it does take a lot of time, because I've heard people like critique these restorations, right? And like be like, oh, they put so much more effort into this one rather than this one. And I'm like, holy shit. Like you don't need to see them that clear. Don't watch them that clear.
It's like I honestly I love it. Like it's something that I don't personally collect, but like you're right, we have a lot of fans that do collect it, and like I genuinely get a kick out of it. Like not like making fun of them. Like I love seeing it when they post it. Like, oh, I finally got my hands on this. This is some movie that like maybe 3 other people have heard of. Like,
oh, I agree with you. I'm not saying this as like a slight to them. Like I do genuinely respect it. There's parts of me that wishes that I could do that, but my brain is just not wired that way. I can't do it. But like I see it and I'm like, that would be kind of cool to own this absurd fucking thing, like a 4K restoration.
Agreed.
And like you can't just buy like 2 or 3, right? Like you have to be a collector for it to work.
Well, see, that's the thing. The only Blu-ray that I own is that Madman movie that we got at that con that time when the Castle Madman was there. And like, I don't want any more. Like, if I'm going to own, like, because if I buy another one, now I have 2, and then I'm going to have to start. Like, you can't just have 2. Like, it's either 1 or like 1,000.
Yes,
you know what I mean? So
yes.
I can't buy another one for the rest of my life.
Absolutely, I agree with that completely. Oh boy. So this week we're doing Project Metalbeast, which I do think we announced last week.
We did, yeah. Shout out to Justin Lohr, Repairman Jack, who we've been giving a lot of plugs to, but he's generally good, funny guy. He claims this movie scared him as a child, which even if you were 3 and in a room by yourself, it shouldn't.
Justin, I'm on your side. I think it would spook me as a kid, but it would have to take you. First of all,
it would have to have been either the first 15 minutes or the last 5, because there's no way,
Exactly.
and that would have had to have been all that you watched. Like maybe if you watched the first 15 and then turned it off,
yes.
I'm fine with. But like even if you were 5 and you watched the first 15 and you're on the edge of your seat, like, oh my god, this is the scariest thing I've seen in my life thus far, the rest of the movie would just fucking take you completely. You forget about that part. Like by the time the movie ends.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I think the percentage of scenes that could scare you was so low that he was either very unfortunately walked in on the 5% of scenes that actually had something happening, or he just saw that very beginning part and that was it.
Yeah, exactly.
This was made in 1995. I actually thought I saw this movie. I thought it was something I saw in Mystery Science Theater. I don't know if they did this on Mystery Science Theater, but this was not the movie I was thinking of. I don't know what I was thinking of.
The name I've heard of forever, but I knew I had never seen it. It was not what I expected. I was expecting way more Metal Beasts.
I mean, I would have liked to have seen Metal Beast. Metal Beast. The Metal Beast thing is just a whole wow. This movie is something else. This movie was made in 1995, which was shocking when I saw that. I thought this was an older movie.
Dude, Sean, the quality and the premise is honestly early 70s. Which, 70s are a fucking nightmare. Early pre-Jaws horror 70s.
That is literally my first note about this movie. I said the name and concept are so bad and so much older appearing than 1995 that this is shocking.
Yeah, dude.
The name Project Metalbeast is so stupid.
I know. And this is so the movie's about a werewolf. So the name Metalbeast is completely deceiving. And this is 95 where we've already had American Werewolf in London. We've already had The Howling. We've had Wolf. Fucking every good werewolf movie has already come out. The fucking Wolfman came out in 1941. You could have at least just copied that. This is the shittiest werewolf movie.
What was that werewolf movie we did? Oh god, it was early 2000s or late 90s, where the werewolf flips off.
That was Cursed. Yeah,
Cursed. Dude, is this not the same werewolf from Cursed?
It looks, because it's so bulking, it's thick and stupid looking.
Yes. And it gets dumber as the movie goes on, because Kane Hodder starts walking on stilts. So it takes away any speed the wolf has. So the wolf is kind of like speed walking and just looks like he has to shit his pants in the second half of the movie.
And dude, I know you said the concept isn't good, but on paper, when you look at the actual plot of it, it's not the most terrible concept. If somebody was to redo this with half a brain and half of a budget, it could probably be enjoyable.
Oh, I think you could. I think the idea is like kind of cool. And I know there's that movie Dog Soldiers, which I saw like a million years ago. I don't really remember it. And so I don't know if it's like similar to this in any way, like with the military aspect or not. But I know people love it. But like, you know, mixing the military and a werewolf with like, you know, weaponizing werewolves is not a bad idea. I'm bored.
And the way that, you know, the opening sequence is a flashback, so you get the origin of it. And then, like, the reason why it's coming back isn't the most absurd thing we've seen in a movie. Like, it honestly kind of makes sense as to why they brought it back and how it came back.
Actually, at the beginning of this movie, I actually thought I was going to like it. I was Sean
texted me, and he's like, I'm so happy we're doing this. And I'm like, I was honestly expecting a text at, like, 2 p.m. be like, Joe, we have to audible. Like... me telling Tina, you know, I have to go watch another movie before tonight. And you texted me like, this is fucking awesome. I'm like, well, you must have just watched the opening because honestly, this is probably the most realistic CIA werewolf movie because that's all that would happen is just these people talking the whole time being like, well, what are we going to do about this? You know,
Joe, the bureaucracy that is captured on this is worse than the town that dreaded sundown with like paperwork. Dude, remember they had to like file paperwork for like 15 minutes?
Yes. It's like that civil action movie with John Travolta where he's literally just like reading like a state legislator and statutes to see what he could do about this lawsuit.
Oh my
God. That's what this movie is.
It is. The scene that really I knew I was in trouble was when one of the doctors is about to perform. She's given cadavers to work on, which like you'd be like, okay, this is cleared. We're military. Like, and she's like, I can't work on this without papers. And then cut to like a 5-minute argument about the papers. A 5-minute conversation with her bosses about the papers. She gets the papers and then is like, I don't buy it. So like, why do we even have to have this scene? These scenes in the fucking movie? It's alarming.
The only movie in the history of movies is Project Metalbeast that decides to fucking, you know, eliminate all fantasy elements of a werewolf movie.
A werewolf movie of all the choices. And like, dude, like, again, like you said, the concept isn't terrible. The concept isn't bad. But like, dude, if we're going to weaponize werewolves, like, let's go. Like, exactly. No one's sitting here to watch a fucking 30-minute surgery.
Exactly. Like, and again, we already listed all these werewolf movies that came out before it. It's 95. The viewer knows what a fucking werewolf is. All you have to do is just have one of those characters be like, hey, this is a fucking werewolf. And that's it. The audience already knows. Like, we don't need scientific background of like why this guy is a lycanthrope and what you're like, bonding his skin with.
Remember how many fucking superhero movies it took for them to figure that shit out? Like,
you're right.
We got it. We fucking got it. It took us like 45.
DC still hasn't figured it out.
No, we've got it. We know the backstory. Just fucking skip ahead. Like, give us the fuck, dude. It honestly, if the Robert Pattinson Batman movie, if they break down the beginning again, I don't think they will. I really don't think they will. However, if they do, I will not finish the movie. I'm not going to fucking do it. I'm not going to. That's insulting. Batman. I don't care what you say. I think Batman is the most well-known superhero, at least with like backstory, right? Like his parents are dead and he's a rich kid. That's it. There's not a lot to it. Everyone knows that. Everyone on Earth fucking knows that. Skip it.
So, I mean, fucking Spider-Man figured it out. Finally, with the new one, Spider-Man Homecoming, like we didn't have to watch the first 30 minutes of Ben dying.
God, dude.
We know he's dead. They had the common courtesy to just like briefly mention it, you know, for like maybe like the two people on Earth that don't know, like, oh yeah, Uncle Ben died, you know. Like, you don't need the entire backstory of Peter Parker.
Literally, you could just say it, and people are like, oh yeah, that makes sense. I don't need to know.
Exactly. Here we are, Project Metalbeast.
Project Metalbeast. Can't compare it to any Marvel or DC movie ever. Project Metalbeast opens with this like military typewriter thing that all military movies do, like and it says, dude, the opening was I was so excited at the opening because it was so stupid. It said Project Operation Lycanthropus, which is the best metal band name ever. And then it said agency, U.S. military agency. Destination, Carpathian Mountains in Hungary.
Yeah.
Objective, sample werewolf blood. What? That's cool. And then the reason was to create a superior combat agent. So like right there, you know what? They give us a brief overview of what the fuck's going on, and I'm on board.
Yeah.
I'm on board.
I'm with you.
We get some military boys are out in a fucking dinghy, which seems a little weird, with lanterns. They make their way around Hungary and find a werewolf that, like I noted, looks just like the one in Cursed. Like, just looks like you know what I would say? It looks like a mascot. The mascot, like a werewolf mascot.
Okay.
It's got like a jacked, broad shoulders. It looks fucking huge.
He's big. And to your point, this opening sequence, you're kind of like, okay, this might be a fun ride.
Hey, this might be cool. The werewolf attacks one of the guys. The guy's camera drops off. The guy drops his camera, and for some reason it takes like 100 pictures. And the only reason that happens is for later in the movie so they can show these pictures. Yeah. It made no sense. Dude, an old-timey camera would just shatter into a million pieces. Oh, and this takes place in 1974.
1974. It's not even 95. It's 20 years earlier.
It's not. And I don't think they ever specified when we were in 95, did they?
After this, it says 20 years later.
Oh, I missed that. All right, fair enough. I honestly couldn't tell because the same characters are in this.
And they're not even like wearing. They didn't even have the common Rob Zombie courtesy of like giving them ponytails or something. They just look exactly the same.
They look identical, wearing the same fucking clothes. Oh boy. The werewolf kills that guy though, and then our lead Butler, who is the only name in the entire movie that I was able to get. I don't know a single person's name in this movie. Butler kills the werewolf, and he's able to get some blood out of him, and then he bounces.
Yeah.
And that's the end. This is a period piece, 1974. You can't tell. All right, so okay. So they're still in 1974. He comes home from Hungary. They go to a doctor at the military base, I guess, who finds an extra chromosome. And these two military guys, Butler and his boss, the colonel, are just screaming. I don't know why. They just keep screaming, "Is it diseased?" Which, what the fuck does that mean? And it's like, it's also 1974. Can she even fucking figure that out at this point? They've given her like approximately 5 minutes to like look at this, and they're just like, "Is it fucking diseased?" She's like, I don't know. I don't think so. But she does go on to explain in a fucking painstakingly long detail what would happen if somebody tried to inject this blood into their system. But it basically boils down to kill them, and like their blood turns into pus and shit.
Which is real funny because fucking Butler does exactly that in like the next scene.
Butler literally is like, "Oh, all right, shut up, you idiot," and then like grabs it and then just fucking injects himself with it. I don't understand. Oh, he did it because they were running out of blood, right?
Yeah, and so like in all that talking, they mentioned how they're trying to create super soldiers with like werewolf blood, and that's why they were out there in the first place, right? Yeah. And she gives that explanation of like what would happen if you mixed it with somebody, and he's honestly just mad that it's taking too long, and that the supply is running out because they're experimenting with it. Yeah, exactly. Which when you say that out loud, it's even more stupid. Like you have this like thing that nobody else in the world has, that, you know, like werewolf blood. You finally fucking got it, and then the scientist is like, yeah, if you inject this exactly is what's going to happen to you. It's not good. And then you're just like, yeah, this is taking too long. I'm just going to inject it into myself.
Oh man, it's so weird. It's so fucking weird. And his idea, I guess, is, if he takes the blood, then they have a lot more werewolf blood. Because then his blood will be the werewolf blood.
Right.
Now they have more donors. Which, this is one thing that is throughout the movie that just seems to, really bother the shit out of me. All these people appeared to think that, for some reason, the werewolves were under their control. And there was never any evidence of this.
No.
Dude, the Colonel, the whole movie is like, I will control them. What makes you think that? What the fuck makes you think that? Why? And even this guy's like, clearly in his head is like, yeah, I'll turn into a werewolf. It'll be fine. Like, I'll just donate my blood. What?
So why wouldn't you just, get some fucking schmuck and inject it into them and be like, yeah, we'll just donate their blood. So that at least that way you could still be a normal human being. And
that makes way more fucking sense. So he injects himself with it. He goes to work where he's like looking through pics. He's looking through the pics of his dead friend who was murdered by a werewolf. And they're honestly like laugh out loud worthy. Like it's just the werewolf suit like placed on top of like an actor laying there. But his boss confronts him about the blood first. The Colonel confronts him and is like, why'd you do that? And he's just like, whatever. I don't even know what occurs there. And then Butler starts saying he can hear people, he can smell fear, and like all this other shit. Like he's a dog, right?
Yeah.
And Colonel's like, you're a fucking idiot. The other weird part is it seems like everyone a part of this program is aware that this is werewolf blood. However,
right.
Everyone assumes that werewolves don't exist. And that this guy that just injected the blood is somehow like an idiot maniac.
Dude, you're right. They have photographic proof and they have the blood, which everybody is analyzing with the one goal of, making super soldiers. But they're all still like, that's not true. They're not fucking real.
Butler, you fucking idiot. Butler's like, listen, I can smell fear. I can hear things. And he's like, you're a fucking idiot. What's wrong with you? I know you just injected the last bit of werewolf blood, but what are you, some kind of fucking moron? Oh my god. And then speaking of smelling, 5 minutes of Butler walking around because he smelled a woman cut her hands. And this is where like writing, I know people, get mad at us about picking on movies or whatever, and that's whatever. But like, I know I'm not saying I'm a writer. I'm not saying I could write a movie, but he smells a woman that cut her hand, right?
Yeah.
But she also works in the hematology lab, which is the blood lab. You could just pick one or the other. You know what I mean? Why don't you just have them smell the hematology room? Why did she also have to cut her hand?
Exactly. That smell, like if he is sensing blood, that smell would have been so overwhelming in that fucking lab.
Fucking 8 million gallons of blood in there. But this girl cuts her finger and he's like, oh my God. It's fucking ridiculous. Oh man. And now I'll get 8 million emails being like, lycanthrope can only smell live blood. Fresh blood. Well, he finds her.
He does.
He kills her with the iron claw. Oh wait, he doesn't kill her.
Rapes her.
Is that what you... See, that's what I assumed, but I don't even think that happened.
Dude, he does, because I looked at, like, Wikipedia also says he rapes her.
Oh my god. What?
Yeah, because I was like, why is this necessary for any of this?
Completely unnecessary, especially because they kill that woman in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure they kill her because she's a witness.
Yes, that's why. Which also
she's not a witness. She's a fucking victim. Like, are you kidding me?
That is alarming. Cause like I got the vibe, like I got the rapey vibe. And I was like, ooh, but I was like, this doesn't make sense. Why would the werewolf suddenly start raping people? And you know, but, wow, that's alarming. That's really fucking alarming. Well, there goes that fucking segment. Anyway, he gave her the iron claw. She lives though. And she identifies that werewolf as Butler. Because when people start coming in, she's like, it was Butler. Which then causes another doctor to show up who finds the girl. And he's like, Butler, you son of a bitch. And the werewolf just fucking kills him. Fucking slaughters him. And then finally the colonel shows in and fucking shoots him. And he's like, put that body in the freezer. And then also orders that poor woman to be fucking killed. At the same time. Also, did you notice that fucking Beastie Boys sabotage character showing up?
Oh, with the fake mustache?
Dude, that is the most unbelievable thing I've ever fucking seen. That's up there with whatever that movie was that you saw where somebody went ring ring and then picked up the phone.
Dude, that person was on screen, by the way. But yeah, it's so completely unnecessary. And we were just making fun of like them not attempting to show that this is 20 years earlier. But for some reason, they decided that guy to have a mustache, a fake mustache.
A big, like, 70s cop mustache. Dude, it doesn't even fit his fucking face. It goes so far out of, like, the lines of where your beard and mustache are. All right. We also... so he freezes Butler, right?
He does.
You know, nice frozen dick scene here.
Cryogenically freezes it, yeah.
A nice frozen dick scene here. Let's say you're an actor, right?
Yes.
You get this movie. Let's say it's a little bit even bigger than this, right? Let's say it's a little more successful than this. You have a dick scene in it, right?
Okay.
Do you bring a like, let's say you're single, right? Would you bring a girl to the movie knowing you have a dick scene in it?
It depends on the angle. Enhance it. CGI a couple of inches. Yeah, sure.
Do the old Robert Downey Marvel to the penis area. Fuck.
Wait, what is that?
Like they de-aged him. Like.
Oh yeah.
Just
enhance it,
clean it up, enhance it.
What was that movie? Manos Hands of Fate, where the guy was just like, yeah, they're going to work their Hollywood magic. Every time someone would be like, is this going to work?
I forgot about that. I also forgot that guy that played that fucking idiot character, like hobbled his fucking legs for the role.
Torgo? Yeah.
Isn't he like a cripple now?
Yeah, dude, he was like frog splashing onto concrete in like every single scene.
That's fucking madness. Okay.
To answer your question, I mean, I don't know. I would probably feel a little weird about telling people that I knew, and then they would just see my dong,
right?
The fucking big screen,
right? And you're an actor. You're like, you're definitely going to use your premieres for like a date, right?
At least your resume,
But like, then you're like, oh god, can I bring them to this one? My fucking peen hanging. My fucking.
I mean, to be honest with you, dude, that's probably the least of my concern about bringing them to this movie.
Yeah, I mean, if it's this movie, yeah, there's like, why did you do this?
Yeah,
I feel like
what made you want to? Yeah, like what made you want to finish this?
Up to the dick scene, I'm fine with. It's just everything after.
Sean, I'm legitimately concerned. Like, I knew we would be able to talk a lot about the first part, but like the first
what happens also, next, Joe?
This is a 90-minute movie. Like, why? Why is it fucking 90 minutes?
They filled it up with all of the wrong things. It makes me respect some of the movies where we're like 90 minutes. We're like, ooh, that's rough. Or an hour 45.
There
and
could
I
have
caught
been
too long. This could have been like a 45
so
minute
much
movie.
more werewolf, dude. So much more werewolves in this movie.
The dry spell of werewolves starts now and ends with 30 minutes left in the movie. And I'm not talking about like action werewolves. I'm talking about any fucking werewolf.
It's just fucking werewolves.
Just a werewolf showing up to do anything. Which also...
we already said this, but like, why is this the one movie to finally be like, you know what, I'm going to give a real strong... Like, I'm going to build a real strong case as to why we're bringing this back. Because they did. Like, they bring in these doctors and they... Like, I know... This is probably the most clear I've ever been on like any of the movies we've ever done. Like, I know exactly why these people are doing that, but I don't fucking care in this movie.
Dude,
I want to see Metal Beast.
The 45-minute surgery scene was my favorite. We watch a skin graft being performed live. Oh my god.
Ridiculous.
Speaking of skin graft, well, this Colonel, he talks to Butler in his fucking frozen tank constantly. Butler can't hear him. Butler's frozen and dead. But for some reason, he just goes down there to tell everyone the plot of the movie, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Because, like, at the end of the flashback, he's like, oh, you'll be down here for a while. And then we
Which
open
I'm
up.
fucking fine with if they just had him. Like, if that guy... Fuck. They could have made so much more action and just had this idiot, like, narrating what's going to happen and why it's happening to the frozen guy. Like,
Yeah.
I would have been so much happier. And that's all we needed.
That's really all you needed. You're right. Like, you know, him being like, no, they're going to do this to you. And then we don't have to sit through it. And then we just get a metal werewolf. That's not what we get, though. We get a whole lot more than that. But we do get him explaining it. We do get him explaining it to the body. He's like, glad you slept for 20 years. Now we're going to give you metal skin. Like, what? Oh yeah. So wait, where are we?
So after he's frozen, we get that infograph or whatever the title that says 20 years later or whatever it says.
Oh yes. Okay. So yeah. So there's a few things that I want to just bring up at this beginning scene. First of all, we meet a military guy. Don't know his name. He'll be in it for the rest of the movie. He loves talking about $15 card games. Like they're hot shit. He was like, will you believe fucking Terry lost $15 And like the doctor, his girlfriend is like, oh my God. And he's like, yeah, he ain't gonna pay. Dude, are we talking about $15 right now? What is happening? What the fuck is happening?
Military grade scientist. Like, talking about $15.
And by the way, this is not the last or even the second to last time that we'll just get random poker playing scenes in this movie. It's just scattered throughout in case you needed those. And they do not play into the story at all. We also meet the doctor. I don't know her name, but she is making fake skin.
Yes.
And is like...
Tina recognized the actress. I guess she's on a soap opera or something. Or she was in NYPD Blue.
Yes, she was in NYPD Blue and seemed like a working actress. There seemed to be a lot of recognizable faces in this, which is alarming. Like, even the Colonel looked really familiar.
That's Barry Bostwick. He's from the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh, that makes sense. Brian Bosworth.
City.
Brian Bosworth.
No, you don't. Wait, the football player? Wait. Can we do Brian Bosworth's movie?
Wait, does he have a movie?
He does.
No. About what?
It's a fucking action movie.
Oh my God. Yeah, of course we can do it. Is he dead or no?
No, he's not dead. No, he was just in a bunch of commercials, remember? No. Like... Dude, they decided to capitalize on, like, Brian Bosworth. I think, like, hoping that people who grew up with him would be like, oh my God, that's nostalgic. And of course, nobody knew who he was because, dude, he had that signature mullet and, like, the long earring, and now he's just fucking an old guy with no hair. Of course, nobody knows who he is.
Stone Cold.
That's it.
1991. Yeah, 91.
We could do that in Howie Long's movie.
Oh my god, where he's throwing the axe, the firefighter one?
That's the only thing I remember. Him throwing the fucking axe.
And it might not even be in the movie, but it was 100% in the fucking trailer.
Agreed. Yeah.
Dude, popping up from the water. What? First of all, why is the firefighter fighting
Also,
the water?
it's a fucking firefighter movie.
He pops up from the water with an axe and fucking hooks it. All right. Dude, wait, when is the Super Bowl? In February? Or is it bumped up this year?
I think it's February.
All right. Super Bowl double feature.
So many people are going to be pissed. The horror show's doing two shitty action movies with football players nobody knows. Dude, these are movies that like literally no one gives a shit. Firestorm 1998 starring Howie Long. Dude, I hate Howie Long's fucking face. I can't believe they put him in a fucking movie. He's such a fucking jabron. White milk toast jabron. What? Sean, Howie Long was drafted in 1981, which that means the movie came out 17 years after he was fucking hot shit. Like, why is he in a movie then?
And I just confirmed because I was like, maybe I'm remembering the commercial wrong. He is 100% coming out of water with an axe. Also a firefighter.
Oh, I can't wait.
The tagline is "Fight fire with fire." Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Yes, people might not love us doing these movies. That's fine. But the thing is, us having this much anticipation for these movies, this is what the horror show was made for. It was made for movies that we've never seen, but we were like, oh my God, remember that?
I completely agree. And like, I know we're supposed to be talking about Project Metalbeast, but like, there's nothing to talk about right now. But I like doing episodes like this because this is what Sean and I would do at parties. It's just be like, do you remember when this fucking happened? And like, that's like you just said. That's why we wanted to do this. And now I'm super excited for these two movies that I'm 100% gonna hate and be miserable during. So, I can't wait.
God. Oh man, the fucking who? Oh boy, this Stone Cold sounds pretty great too. You got a germaphobe. I think. Please, no. There's no way fucking Bosworth plays a germaphobe. That must be Lance Henriksen. Dude, William Forsythe is in it.
Wait, he's in both, isn't he?
No, is that true?
Dude, I think he's in Firestorm. Can you confirm that?
I'm gonna look it up right now. Holy shit, I'm so excited. Firestorm 1998 film starring William Forsythe. Also, it would make it way more funny to people at home if they saw what his Wikipedia picture is. He's got like he looks like fucking Carl from Workaholics.
Fucking idiot. Also, it would probably be a little bit funnier for people if they knew in our Instagram live we were talking about him.
That's
in
true.
Detail.
We were making fun of William Forsythe.
Is that picture fucking serious? Oh my god.
He's got like a middle parted haircut that goes down to his ears, these glasses, and just this big stupid smile on his face.
It says he's at a dingus convention. Whatever the fuck that means. But he looks like somebody that would be at a dingus convention.
Sounds like somebody fucking hijacked his Wikipedia, quite honestly. Will Forsythe signing autographs at the 2007 Dingus Convention. That's the funniest thing I've ever read. Yeah, it's the old 65-year-old William Forsythe at the Dingus Convention.
I just Googled what Dingus Convention is. Yeah.
Oh my god. Whew. That's fucking funny, dude. That is fucking funny. Whew. All right.
Just thinking about the fucking Howie Long throwing an axe.
And how it's burned into both of our memories from like watching that commercial, probably during NFL on Fox, because no one else was running that fucking commercial.
Dude, it's so weird. This is true. I distinctly remember 1998 because my mom would watch Regis and Kathy Lee every single morning, and they had Howie Long on promoting that. And I remember them showing the trailer. It'd be like, oh my god, this looks like fucking awesome.
Oh man, I remember our buddy Buzz was also very into that clip.
Dude, of course. Buzz probably thinks it's the greatest action movie in the 90s.
Oh man. Well, while you were in the bathroom, Joe, I was I was reading a little bit up on Stone Cold starring Brian Bosworth. Boy, I'm excited for this. There's the main bad guy's name is Chains Cooper. He's part of a white supremacist biker gang that shot a government agent. And he goes undercover as Joe Stone. And yeah, that's it. That's it.
All right.
I'm excited. I'm excited for that. I'm also excited to do, I think the formula for these non-horror movies is going to be these special occasions, right? And I think I'm excited for May the 4th with our buddy JP. I think that's going to be a fucking phenomenal episode. And
Good.
getting
one.
Yeah, and getting some insight from like a Star Wars perspective is going to be incredible. On that.
Agreed.
And this for the Super Bowl, I'm excited. I'm excited about it.
Me too. I wish we could just end the episode right now so I can ride off on a high note.
That's fine. Everyone in Project Metalbeast is still probably talking about like a piece of paper that wasn't filled out properly.
Dude, I mean, that off-topic tangent that we just had is pretty fitting when talking about a movie like Project Metalbeast, because that's what the characters did to us while watching it as the viewer the entire time.
It was unbearable at points where when she was like, I need to do the paperwork on this, and she literally stops the one scene where you felt like things were going to start happening. She got the cadaver. Okay, we're going to get there, but anyway, so it happens right here, right? Or no. So we met the doctor who's making fake skin. We went to a live meeting with a group of doctors to discuss skin. That was fucking riveting. But I guess with this, we learned that the Colonel is merging the skin doctors with the frozen people doctors, and everyone's upset.
Yes.
But it sounds like they're going to give the Wolfman fake skin, basically, is what we're finding out. The fake metal skin. But it's an entire 15-minute scene that no one asked for. And could have been handled with, like, one of the doctors receiving a memo and being like, can you believe they're merging us with cryogenics? And us being like, oh, and, assuming we have brains as people, being like, oh, okay, I get it. I get it.
Exactly. I mean, and then even after they merge, we still have them just talking. Like, I can't recall a single other movie where I know that metal alloys are fusing with fucking prosthetic skin, and then they're going to use it on, like, real human tissue. Like, why do I know that? Well, I mean, I know it in this movie because they mentioned it 500 fucking times, and that was the only thing that these people were talking about or doing for the majority of this movie.
Oh, man. And the Colonel goes down, he talks to Butler again, he's like, oh, well, 20 years later, bucko, these scientists are going to give you metal skin. And again, that's all we really needed. We didn't need everything else. And he goes, you'll be indestructible and under my control.
Which, again, there's nothing to indicate that.
There's nothing to indicate that at all. They've not shown one werewolf they've shown literally just one werewolf, but they have not shown a werewolf being under the control of anybody or why that would be effective or work.
Also,
boy.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but there's like a love story in here as well, isn't there? Between,
I mean, not really. There is, but like,
Sean, because the end like zooms in on them like locking in for a kiss. As if we're supposed to be like, oh, finally. Like, they finally got together.
The guy that got his arm ripped off.
It's so fucking funny because I remember being so bored and uninterested, and then being like, "Why is this being like highlighted?"
I mean, I just assumed they were dating throughout it because they kind of like popped into each other. Like, I don't. That is not. That's insane. Well, they give Butler a cadaver to test her metal skin on, or no, that's a lie. They give the doctor a cadaver of Butler to test the metal skin on. We know it's Butler. She doesn't know it's Butler.
She does not.
She just thinks it's a body. And for whatever reason, she's like, hey, what's up with this fucking body?
Well, no. So she's just uneasy about having to do it with a real human body because they've always just used like prosthetic skin.
And even if it's dead.
Yeah. They just didn't. They had like apprehensions about using an actual cadaver, which we know because that's like what the next 20 minutes will be of her and her colleagues being like, I don't know if I could do this with a real thing.
Joe, that conversation is so fucking long. Dude, they all take like a solid 5 minutes to explain their points to a doctor. Dude, they're arguing the ethics of medicine and experimenting on dead bodies, and like the military guy in the most like military fashion is like, I don't know, just do it. They're like they just keep arguing with him over and over, and he's like, okay, cool. Well, you're gonna do it. And they're like, okay, but like, hear us out. And then another guy takes a shot at it.
Which is like, Project Metalbeast is like the most realistic movie of all time. Because that's what would happen. You bring in scientists, and they would all be like, I don't know if this is ethical. And then just like plead their point, and then ultimately the guy would be like, yeah, well, do it. We don't need this.
Yeah, I'm the boss, and you're gonna fucking do what I said for the 100th fucking time. Unfortunately, we get to sit in on all of that. Oh my god, dude, it's wild.
The characters going back to each other and be like, well, maybe you give it a shot. Like, this is fucking, I've never seen anything like it.
And again, like, this is the scene she pulls out the cadaver, and we're like, oh, finally some action. She's gonna put the metal skin on him. And then she's like, I can't fucking do this. And you're like, what the fuck? Are you serious? So she goes off to do paperwork, and she also tells another doctor to like analyze the DNA, I guess. Sort of. Like, she analyzes his hair, right? And like,
right.
What she finds is, I don't even know, because she talks forever. But one thing that I do know she finds is that she's like, oh, there's a piece of debris from an ocean or like a lake. And she's like, where? And she's like, Budapest. Okay, first of all, this fucking asshole died 20 years ago. Also, he didn't die in Budapest and get frozen in Budapest. He like came home, he fucking showered.
He was back in DC. Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
He was probably home for like months before like being killed. And also, he was probably cleaned up and shit before he was shoved in a frozen tube.
Yes. 1,000% yes.
Well, anyway, and by the way, that means nothing to us. The fucking frozen debris. But she does note, she's like, oh, the hair looks like it went through a transformation. She might as well have just winked at the fucking camera. Yeah. So then we go from, then we go to a full card game. We watch a full card game. Full hand of cards, which was fucking thrilling. And then to an entire surgery. And they they show his body and with the fake skin on it, and it looks. They're doing it on his leg first, and I was like, "Oh, that looks pretty good, like a low budget movie, you know." And then they show his abdomen where they've like covered like 50% of it, and it looks fucking idiotic. It looks like
the board game or the game Operation. Things are so like mismatched.
Oh, just lumps all over him. It looks fucking terrible. Does not look like a skin graft at all. And then one doctor is like, hey, I'm reading inorganic material in his sternum. And the doctor's like, you fucking idiot. Why haven't you told me this? And he's like, I never noticed it. So you're assuming it's like a werewolf thing, right?
Yeah.
But it's actually just bullets, and no one noticed that this guy was full of fucking bullets.
Which there would be like, an entry wound still prevalent. He's just fucking frozen. But I do have to say, like, I don't want to say this part was cool because it's not cool. But when you think about like it being written on paper, it's not a terrible idea because they're like, oh well, we got to remove this debris, we got to remove this, and the silver bullets are the only thing that's keeping him, dead.
Oh, I didn't even put that together. I love that. I think that's fucking great.
That's what's like the skin graft and all that other operation. That's not what's like causing him to come back to life. It's because they removed the silver bullets from him, which was like
great.
Putting Krypton on Superman, and you remove it, he's fine. So they took it out, and that's why he's coming back. I like that. In any other movie, it would be fucking brilliant.
That's fucking great. I really like that. I didn't even pick up on that because they were more focused on other bullshit.
Well, yeah, I mean, why would you? Like, why would anybody watching this
right?
pick up on that?
And like, of all the things that you cue people to, you could cue to be like, oh man, as soon as we remove those bullets, his temperature started rising. Like,
they had people repeat things that are so unworth repeating. They could have just had all three of those people say that multiple times. Be like, oh God, like this happened because we removed those. We shouldn't have removed those. Like, just keep having them do that. But instead, they focus on other things to repeat and like have people argue about.
Yeah, one of the things they repeat is they look silver regarding the bullet, which is like, yes, we get that. We get that. But not all of us, maybe the dim ones, might not understand that removing the silver bullets is what brought him to life.
Right.
Oh boy. Also, he's alive. He's fucking alive. He starts moving. He starts breathing. He starts bleeding. And another big roundtable discussion about the morality of this. And also, we learned that he's brain dead, which he's not. He's alive. He's fucking alive.
Sean, I'm sorry for jumping ahead. I think it might be the next scene, but correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't there? Don't they like argue with each other about creating a fake key card so they can break in and do investigations onto this guy's background?
I did not write the note down, but yes, they do.
That's so fucking funny. Dude, a scene arguing about breaking in so they could do research on a guy, which, by the way, we watched them do.
The doctor is like, I need you to make me a fake key card. And the other lady, who, like, I don't even know what her fucking position is, but she's been able to basically fill in all the gaps for everything. Like, she ran the DNA analysis and shit. She's like, oh, Jesus Christ, you can't be asking me to do this. And then just, like, gives it to her. I have a joke written down here about all the talking in the movie. More like Project Metal speak, am I right?
Nailed it.
Thanks. These fucking idiots just don't shut up the entire fucking movie. There's notes I have here of just scene of two doctors talking, scene of three people talking. Because it's just like, and they're talking about nothing. That's the problem. They're not giving you anything.
Yeah, it would be like if you just walked into like a doctor's office and this was really happening in real life. Like, I don't know why they decided to capture this.
Also, remember when the doctor, and this is what happens right now, so I don't know why I'm like saying it like it's out of context. The doctor and the key card lady have wine together. Also, I thought they were gonna like do a love story with them, and I was like, that's progressive and cool for 95. It's not though. That's not what fucking happens. This lady is just a random character that is just thrown in constantly into the movie. They're having wine one night, the doctor and the key card lady, and the doctor's like, did I ever tell you about the boy, the little kid that I watched die? She tells the longest story about a kid that she watched die. And somehow this is supposed to relate. And like, there's nothing that relates to the werewolf. And she's like, yeah, and that's just what I've been thinking about lately. That's it.
Yep.
Meanwhile, the fucking colonel is like going and antagonizing Butler while he's in like like a vegetative state sort of, and just showing him pictures of like a werewolf eating his friend and being like, "Hey, remember this? You fucking idiot."
That's exactly what it is. That was like the first time I laughed out loud since the beginning. Like the only thing that like, made me wake up because the guys, the fucking, this is like a medical breakthrough, right? Like you remove silver bullets, the biggest thing that's ever happened in the history of mankind, and this guy's just like, "Hey, look at your dead friend here, you fucking loser."
Oh my god! And much like the remainder of the movie, there's no real reason. We're not really entirely sure what people are doing for what reason, right? Because like I vividly remember this. At the end of the movie, the Colonel is just like kind of walking around, like without a weapon and just walking around. And who is he looking for? What is he doing? Like it's not really explained. Oh man, dude, how do these people make movies? It's just amazing. It's just fucking amazing.
I don't think. I think I looked it up. I don't think these people did anything, like the writers or the director.
Also, the other weird part is, yeah, no, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. The other weird part about this is Butler wasn't the most compassionate character, right? Like, we don't care about Butler.
No.
So, like,
We don't know anything about Butler other than he was there 20 years ago, and the guy fucking injected blood into his veins and then raped a woman. Like, why give a shit about Butler?
so like that's the other part. Like, why do we even give a fuck about? Like, I don't know. It's so weird. Oh man. Butler starts pissing on the floor because again he's a vegetable, and for some reason all of these there's 6 fucking doctors, and they're all surprised this is happening. They're like, "Oh my god!" And then one of them goes, "We're not equipped to handle this." What are you equipped? You are doctors in a medical facility. What are you equipped to handle? Like, what the fuck? So fucking weird. Finally, something starts happening. We're at the tail end of my notes on this movie. The metal werewolf is alive. He's not metal yet, though.
No.
Why does he slowly turn into a metal werewolf?
Dude, I honestly think they explained that when they were talking about like the metal and the prosthetics and how it like slowly turns over time.
That's insanity. That's fucking insanity. The metal werewolf kills one of the doctors. And in the lab, right? And they come down and now they're like investigating, like, what happened? Like, you know what the fuck happened? Like, come on, everyone. But this is my favorite scene in the movie. The Colonel comes down, who's like obviously the bad guy in all this. He sees a giant dog footprint and blood on the floor, and just like as if he spilled like a little milk or water on the floor, like wipes it up with his fucking sock, just smears the single dog footprint, as if the dog footprint wouldn't be down the hall. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
He only took
just
one
that
step.
one. Yeah.
He fucking smudges it with his shoe and is like, doo, 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 doo. And like, even somebody's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" He's like, "Huh, nothing." What's crazy is that's like an earnest scene, right?
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Like it's a very serious scene, and like it's the silliest thing I've ever explained out loud. Oh god, I better hide this one dog footprint.
They couldn't even like you said, they couldn't even make 2, you know? Like maybe after the second step he like jumped up, like he's up in the rafters. Just one fucking foot.
Did we mention Toby Hooper is the werewolf?
Oh, you mean Kane Hodder?
Kane Hodder. I'm sorry. I wish it was Toby.
Dude, if Toby Hooper was the werewolf, that would be fucking amazing. Yeah, I think we mentioned it earlier, but if not, yeah, he's the werewolf.
I wish he went to the zoo and went to the zoo to method act. Yeah, Kane Hodder is the werewolf. Good for him. I've got shit to say because I've had a few glasses of wine, but it's fine. Here's what I am going to say, though. Is Kane Hodder that tall?
No. I met him. He's, I'm 5'7", so I think he's only like 6 foot or something.
He's not that tall, and you could tell in this movie because he's on stilts at one point.
I'm trying to look it up. Yeah, he is on stilts, but I'm trying to look up how tall he is. I don't see shit.
He's hiding it. He's fucking burying the lead.
Kane Hodder height.
Ask Holly Gofreilly.
She would 100% know. He's 6'3".
6'3"? That's a lie. He's probably 5'11".
I would say 6. I would say 6.
He's 5'11".
6 foot seems right.
5'11" max. I'm just trying to start some shit. Remember when he yelled at people in Chicago when we were filming for Bloody Disgusting? We were filming the categories for the BD Awards.
Oh yeah. Because people came in the room.
Yeah, and he was like, "Shut the fuck up."
Yeah. Yeah, I have a picture with him from when I was 18. We were with our buddy Amato. I was like, "Oh my god, it's the guy that plays Jason. Like, can I get a picture?" He's like, "Oh, you want me to strangle you?" I was like, "Sure." And then he fucking choked me to the point where I was losing consciousness. And I was like, "Well, that was extreme." He's like, "Oh, you think the guy who plays Jason wouldn't actually strangle you?" I was like, "No, of course I didn't think that." Just wanted a picture with you.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever gonna give up that tough guy thing, huh? Like as he gets older, do you think he'll ever give it up?
I don't.
I think he'll be 80 and be like, "Hey, want me to strangle you?" It's like, no, stop.
Dude, I've heard that his documentary is actually really, really good though.
Okay, well. I can't go into this right now. I just upset people. People don't like it. All right, listen. Project Metalbeast is finally starting to kill people. We can't get distracted now. Also, Project Metalbeast, its killer POV is just drunk goggles. It's not red. It's not metally. It's not werewolfy. It's just fucking drunk goggles for no reason. Also, the werewolf gets so mad at one of those pecking ducks that that dips its head into a glass of water.
The thing that Homer Simpson uses to do his job.
Yes, he gets so mad about it. Smashes it. That's the first action scene we get in the fucking movie. Oh, man. And again, Project Metalbeast is just killing people now. And I say that generously. He kills, max 4 or 5 people.
Dude, that is generous in itself.
Right.
He kills this one guy.
He kills a guy when he jumps off a roof. I don't know, dude. I think you're right. So I think because I actually thought he killed the boyfriend, too. So I think he kills... And the other guy gets shot by the colonel, so that doesn't really count.
It doesn't count. No.
He kills 3 people. I think.
Did he kills that one guy immediately when he comes back to life, right? And then everybody finds him, and that's how they're like, "Oh God, what's happening?" Yeah.
He jumps off the roof.
Guy. That guy is supposed to sedate him, right? He kills him.
Yes, he kills him. Okay.
So that's 3.
That's 3. I think that's it.
Dude, I think that's it because they then the other doctors, try to corner him.
Yeah, and then I guess he kills the colonel at the end, so that's 4. So you kill the Project Metalbeast. The weaponized werewolf that is impossible to kill had killed 4 people in a massive military facility. It's unbelievable. Well, he starts killing people.
Can I just say the whole thing? Even the doctors, well, they took the silver bullets out, so they pieced that together. That's what was keeping him, dead. And then when they make the fake key card, they do like research, which we watched for 45 minutes. And they know exactly what happened, and they know that he's a werewolf, like he injected himself with werewolf blood, and he needs the silver bullets. And they fucking kill him with a bazooka.
Joe, but the bazooka has a metal tip on it. A silver tip.
Oh, it does have the silver tip? Okay.
It does.
I missed that part. But I thought they had shot him in like the leg, and we're like, oh fuck, what are we gonna do now? And then they just shot him with a bazooka.
So we'll get to that, because that entire process is beyond confusing, and what happens is also beyond confusing. So they capture the werewolf again, by the way. So this metal beast, and it appears they captured him using a fire extinguisher. They spray him with a fire extinguisher. Next thing we know, he's tied up again. But they can't sedate him because they can't stick a needle in his metal skin. By the way, they didn't finish the surgery. There's plenty of regular skin on his legs you can inject him with. Or his fucking face. What the fuck? Or, a gas mask, like how they sedate lots of people.
Right.
Whatever. The doctors are like, we can't do it. The needles are breaking off in him. He's also in this like weird half werewolf, half man state that is pretty fucking cool.
Agreed.
Pretty fucking cool.
Half transformed.
Yeah, he's like half transformed. It's pretty neat. Also, I don't know if I've ever seen a horror movie where people are just sitting around talking about how scared they are as much as in this movie. And it's the least scary event that ever happened. Dude, there's like a 5-minute span where everyone's like, I'm so scared of this fucking thing. What? So weird. You're in a military facility. Anyway, the werewolf frees himself, which of course he fucking does. And the werewolf now looks like Predator / Smoke from Mortal Kombat. Was that character's name?
Yep.
He's got dreads. He's got bright... By the way, this is just metal skin. That's all he received. It would not change his hair, and it certainly wouldn't make his eyes glow like Terminator Red, which it does. The guy that loves playing poker, he starts making some... I don't even know what he's making. I thought they were silver bullets, but they're fucking gigantic. And it turns out... and by the way, there's no explosive in them. He's just pouring them into these weird molds, which, where did he get the molds from? Anyway, it doesn't matter. They're the tops of rockets, and they are the dullest pointed things I've ever seen. There's no possible way they would ever pierce skin, let alone a metal skin. Okay. Oh, also in the next scene, we see them they look completely different, and they're clearly just painted model rockets that they just painted the tip silver.
All right, well, that at least explains my question that I had about this.
But here's the problem about your question is you're right, because so what happens, and I'll explain it here. Somehow that guy with the rockets is not with them anymore. They all leave together, but then they're not together anymore. And I know maybe I missed a scene or something here. It doesn't make sense though. That guy's gone, and so are the rockets, right? So it's really fucking weird. And the doctors they're trying to hunt the werewolf, and this is when they get separated. So it's only the two the doctor and the key card lady.
Yeah.
And then while this is happening, the colonel's just walking around being like, and not doing shit, but just has a gun. And it's just whoever he comes upon is like, hey, I'm going to fucking kill you. It just makes no sense. And saying shit like, ugh, clever girls. But we don't know why they're clever. They left a fucking door open, and he's like, oh, clever. What the fuck is happening? Anyway, the colonel finds the girls. He's about to shoot them with his gun. But then the metal beast shows up and fucking backhands him and leaves the worst cut I've ever seen in my life from a backhand. And he's throwing him around. And the doctor's like, no, it's me. Like, yeah, why did you ever think this was going to happen?
Dude, pleading that it's me.
Like, what does he know you? The only thing he knows you from is coming into his room when he was in a vegetative state to be like, hey, piece of shit, look at your dead friend. Why did you think he was going to cooperate with you? Also, Metalbeast sticks his fist inside his stomach and fucking lifts him up in the air, and he's dead.
Dude, that's honestly like the biggest Buzz mentality. You know, our buddy Buzz.
Yeah.
Just like tormenting someone for like, you know, years of their lives. And then when the person's like, fuck you, you'd be like, what? It's me.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
And telling people like, oh, yeah, I'm cool with him. Like, when you realize you're not cool with him, being like, oh my God, and like buying them a jersey. Buying you a like $300 jersey because he thought you were best friends, even though you fucking talk shit. Showed him pictures of your dead friend fucking getting eaten by a werewolf.
Oh, that's good. Dude, I love since the return we just the inside jabs that nobody gets, but
fuck it.
I fucking can't get enough of them.
Dude, everyone loves them. And I think everyone fucking gets it somehow. And I don't know how.
Yeah, they know. Yeah.
They know, dude. They somehow know. And I think it's because everyone has to deal with these kinds of people. And they're like, I get it. I fucking understand exactly what you're talking about. Because in the live show, like, people reference shit. And it's, like, stuff we've briefly highlighted. And I was like, oh my God. Which is funny because in my head, I'm like, if our hometown friends listen to this, they might not understand. And honestly, that might be true, which is alarming because... Like, complete strangers are like, I know what you're saying. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
1000%. You could have them on with us and we'd make these references and it would just go right over their head. And then when it would take somebody like explaining it and like drawing it out to them and then be like, wait, that can't be what they meant.
Did we ever tell the Peter Griffin? The Peter Griffin story on the show or no?
I don't think so.
We might have to save that for a Paul episode. The only reason is I just want to hear Paul laugh at it. And his big stupid laugh when we retell it.
All right, next Patreon, let's call Paul. So
yeah.
We can discuss that.
Peter Griffin. Dude, that story is fucking insane. And it sums up that group like completely.
I mean, the kicker of him, the conclusion of that is the most stupid. You can't fucking write comedy or fiction like more absurd than that.
You absolutely cannot. Oh my God. All right. Well, the Project Metalbeast. The Colonel finds a girl. Oh, the Colonel's dead. The Colonel's fucking dead.
Yeah, Metalbeast kills him.
Metalbeast kills him. I guess that's the end of it. At this point in the movie, everyone's just kind of running around, and I don't know who or what is looking for who or what. Like,
the most chaotic cat and mouse chase.
Like, why does the Metalbeast even give a fuck about the girls? They shouldn't, right? Like,
why is the Metalbeast just not trying to escape?
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, if the girls and him were in the same room, he kills the Colonel and then, like, you know, give a nod of the cap to the gals and then, like, escape. Like, that's how I end it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, whatever. But, like, why is he continuing to go after these girls? It makes no sense. But the girls get separated.
Yeah.
Now we only have the doctor.
Yep.
And we find out that the reason they got separated is because the Metalbeast shows up. The doctor looks like she's in peril. Then the other lady shows up, the keycard lady, with a rocket launcher. And she misses Metalbeast, and not by a little bit. She overshoots Metalbeast by like 13 feet and just blows up the side of the wall. Which I guess pins Metalbeast down, and somehow shoots a piece of rebar through this lady's ankle. Now, here's where it comes back to what you were saying, right? With this rocket launcher, which is the guy had the rocket launcher. So we assume this girl, the key card lady, went back to his body, which, fun fact, we find out he's not dead. But she goes back and gets the rocket launcher with 2 rockets in it, I guess. Okay. Okay. Anyway, so their piece of, I think we might assume she's dead in this scene also. Is that?
Sure. Yeah.
I think like a rock hits her and she's like on the ground. Yeah, that's what it is. She's on the ground, passed out with the rocket launcher. So we think she's gone again. The doctor removes the rebar from her fucking ankle, but then continues to wear high heels. Fucking insane. What the fuck is that? Why would you ever do that? Anyway, we get a chase scene that lasts like 10 minutes of the doctor running and Metalbeast running like he has to take a shit, and just not a lot happening. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to mention, Metalbeast is still alive, of course, because a rocket didn't hit him, and also he's made of metal. So what the fuck are the? His skin is metal. What are these bricks gonna do to him? But when he rises from the bricks, this woman's like, "Oh my god!" Fucking missed him completely. Oh my god. And by the way, this is the finale of the movie, and it's probably one of the most boring things I've ever said.
It's for a movie that spent so much time with the backs. The backstory was just all in the wrong places. Like, the backstory was on their procedures and not them. So, like, at the end, like, I don't care about any of these people.
Who are these people? I don't even know their names. You just kill people off. You just killed I thought this guy was dead, and then he shows up at the end with one arm, which is fucking hilarious.
The conclusion should have been, like, the showdown between the Colonel and Metalbeast, right?
Right.
And then the Colonel dies, and you still have like 20 minutes left of these fucking people.
You got to do the "what up, cuz" ending, right? Like, there's a mutual bad guy here for the beast and the human and the good humans, and it's this piece of shit Colonel.
Right. You're 1,000% right. They should have, like, you know, like you said, give him like a head nod and just be like, all right,
right,
he's dead. Like, be on your way and do your Metalbeast things in the Carpathian Forest.
And basically, every werewolf movie, the theme of it is like you're tortured by the curse of the werewolf, right? Like, it's not. No one wants to be a werewolf,
right?
Yeah, it's a burden for the bearer of that curse.
The guy always ends up killing himself after the fucking full moon goes away.
Right. So it's like that. You know, again, like you said again. At the beginning, you have the template for all of this. Just follow it a little bit. What the fuck is happening? Oh my god. And you know what? This story does work if they could do it, you know, with half a brain. Anyway.
Agreed.
Anyway, so I guess Metalbeast is about to kill the doctor again, and then the fucking keycard woman shows up again with a rocket launcher again. And this time she shoots him through the fucking thigh with a rocket, which is fucking, I don't know even what to say. It made me laugh so hard. But it doesn't matter at all. The fucking werewolf's like, and like fucking pulls it out. The 2 gals run away. We're thinking it's curtains for them because they're out of rockets. And then the guy we assume is dead because she has stolen a rocket launcher from his corpse pops up from behind like oil barrels and is like, "Hey girls," and like hands them another third rocket that he had lying around. This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard and seen in my life. He has one arm. He looks like Fire Marshal Bill. Like, he's a fucking mess. Like, the shirt is cut into triangles at the edges. Like a fucking cartoon explosion.
It's fucking great.
Oh my god. This time they hit him with the fucking rocket. Which, by the way, if I was the other doctor, not the key card lady, I'm taking the rocket from her. I'm like, dude, you fucked this up like twice.
you missed by a mile.
Like, I'm taking this. This is not your job anymore. Like, stop that. I'd rather give it to this one-armed asshole over here than you. Like, just fucking cut it out. Anyway, but she does land the last shot and explodes him into a bajillion pieces.
Which also leads to like one of my favorite endings. I take that back. This is not one of my favorite endings. but it shows the characters walking out and being like, man, nobody's gonna believe this. Yeah, you're right. Nobody is gonna believe this.
And then it ends.
But here's with them kissing. It's like, wait, were they a thing? Was this supposed to be something we were interested in?
I mean, I wasn't interested in it. I just assumed they were dating because they would just like randomly appear to each other. Like that's who he went to and was like, "Can you believe I won $15?" And she was like, "Oh my god."
Well, it did set up the opportunity for a sequel.
Oh, did they ever? They were like, you know what? After this fucking bankrolls, after we're stacking fat stacks from this flick, we're gonna go into number 2 because what is more tempting than a piece of metal skin twitching on the ground? Which again does not hold the werewolf part in it. The werewolf is a totally separate thing. This is just their fucking skin experiment that they happen to place on a werewolf. Like it has nothing to do with the werewolves. Oh my god, that's Project Metalbeast.
Yeah.
Wow, what a movie. What a movie. I feel like I made a ton of noise at this desk tonight.
Would you recommend it? We've been asking that, and I like that.
I love that question. And I mean to ask it. I kind of like it at the beginning, too. Would I recommend it? I think I have to pass. I think I got to pass.
Of course you'd have to. No way I'd recommend this.
It's not great. It's not great. And like, it's not great. It's really bad. It's really boring. But it is on YouTube, so it's like, it's free. I'd still say no.
Did Moderate Chaos and his wife watch every movie that we do, early in the week? And like he'll message me and be like, "Oh, I can't wait for this." And on like Tuesday, he's like, "There's no way you're going to be able to do an episode of this fucking movie."
Oh, Project Metalbeast. All right, so next week, we've got some choices here. We're going to keep with the same choices we talked about last week. We got Extra, Slaughter High, Parents, and From Beyond.
So I legitimately think Parents and Extra are really good. And From Beyond, Stuart Gordon and
fucking sweaty Jeff.
Jeffrey Combs. Yeah. And Barbara's in it, our girl Barbara.
Of course.
I mean, Slaughter High is probably the most miserable and probably makes for the best episode.
So extra though, let's talk about possibilities here, because there's an Extra 2 and an Extra 3.
Dude, I saw Extra for the first time this year.
Yeah.
We actually we recorded that Danzig episode back in April. When
we talked about doing Extra.
And we talked about before we talked about coming back. We're like, maybe while people are in lockdown, we should do it for like a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Little did we know we'd still fucking be here, a year later.
Yeah. Both
on lockdown and as a show. So I watched it, and then you never watched it, and it just went away. Yeah, let's do Extra. Let's do Extra, because there's so many fucking absurd scenes in this. There's actually, now that I'm thinking about it, there's probably one of the most absurd things we've ever done on our show. So let's do it.
All right, Extra, guys, next week, which has been a huge request for us. Everyone wants us to do it. So I'm glad we're doing it.
Dude, Extra is something else. Extra has a scene that's legitimately creepy. Like, you've probably seen a GIF of it online.
Maybe.
But it is creepy, but then it also has scenes where it's like, did they really just put that in a fucking movie? Like, kidding me?
Also, I'm like really excited to watch Extra, and I think part of the reason I forgot we were doing the show at all was because Project Metalbeast was the next one. And I was like, this, I can't trust this. I'm not excited for this. And then, you know what? Joe and I are going to have to do some research one weekend and just cruise Letterboxd for like, I just want some 80s slasher shit, you know?
Yeah. I love fucking shitty.
I do want to do Parents, though. I've never seen it.
Yeah, I watched Parents with our buddy Mike. When we were 17, we entered a golf tournament, which neither of us golf. And it was at his dad's green, and we only entered it so that Mike could drive the golf cart through things, and we got kicked out within like 5 minutes. Drunk, and it was like 7 a.m, and for some reason he had rented Parents like the night before, so we went back and watched it. So.
Remember when we did that movie fucking Killjoy?
The clown movie, yeah.
Oh my god. Patreon
Wasn't
picks were
good.
the worst. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for whoever chose that.
Oh, speaking of Patreon, she had asked for a birthday shout out. Cinnamon Tangles, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Cinnamon Tangles. I know you told us your real name at one point, but I'm sorry, I forget it.
It's Susie.
Susie. Yes. So what are you thinking about for Patreon live? You're still at your parents', which I guess didn't impact us last time.
No.
Did I tell you somebody bought a shirt, and then I forgot about the Patreon bonus, and so I posted a thing on Patreon, and I was like, hey, just email me if you already placed your order, and I'll give you the discount, like retroactively. I'll refund you. And somebody emailed us. I forget her name. It was so funny though. And she was like, hey, I did it without the discount, but keep the money and donate it and buy Booga fucking space heater, for Christ's sake.
Much appreciated. It's good. I can't wait to get back into like recording episodes and not be fucking like I feel sick when I go back inside. I can't express how cold I am out here. Like it's fucking miserable.
We're gonna get that corrected. So let's see. I don't have my son that weekend. My son that weekend. You want to do like January 30th?
Yeah, that works. Yep.
All right. Otherwise, it would probably be better to do it this weekend. So that's a short time frame. Let's do the 30th. Let's plan it, and you and I will pick a movie this week, and we'll post it, advertise that shit, sell some tickets, right?
Sounds good.
I think we have another donor, right? Don't we have another donor this month?
We do.
Oh my god, it's fucking. You guys are the fucking best. The first one was Jasmine Stoner.
Yep.
Who, thank you for buying those tickets. And then that happened, and then our buddy Jay Hess comes up. He doesn't want to be one-upped. This motherfucker doesn't want to be one-upped. And he's like, hey, I'm going to buy tickets too. And I was like, okay. Like, I don't know. I want to say no, but it's so hard. Like, it helps. It helps other fans see us, right? Like, it's not like I hate taking money from people, but like they're helping other people.
That's our problem with like Patreon. Like you and I, like we're very similar. Like if I could, like it would just defeat the purpose of Patreon, I guess. Because like if it was up to me, everyone would just be like, "Hey, can I just have this?" I'd be like, "Yeah, of course."
Yes.
But it's like then it just like leaves us nowhere, you know. So
yes.
It's weird. It's like something I try to get in the mindset of, try to get over. But like I know we're both similar. Like if somebody was just like, well, can I just do this for free? Like my first instinct is like, yeah, of course you fucking can. Are you kidding me? Who the fuck would pay to hear me? You know?
Exactly. This is why you like need an intern who's like a separate person, which we talked about on IG Live tonight. Because like then it's a separate person who's like, yeah, of course you're fucking paying, you piece of shit. And we're like, and then we're disconnected from it.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right, guys, I appreciate every one of you. You guys are all amazing. The IG Lives are so fun. We're going to do Extra next week, and we'll announce the Patreon Live. Oh, overwhelming, by the way. I did a poll on Patreon whether we do a watch-along or a live show. overwhelming for the live show. People love the live show. I think I'll still do a watch along or two. I think it's still kind of fun. I don't know. And I found a site where we can kind of do it and play it at the same time. That appears to have no content restrictions. So maybe we'll try that one time. But yeah, right on. And guys, thank you so much for the orders. Fucking crazy. Yes. I told my real estate agent about the orders, and she was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" she could not believe we got paid to do this, or people buy our merchandise. She was
crazy,
like,
man.
She was like, "What the fuck?" And really, it is surreal. It is surreal. And I know it's my girlfriend's first time experiencing it firsthand, and she's even like, "Wait, what? What?" Because we announced it last Sunday, just through IG, and we had hundreds of orders after just announcing it on IG.
Yeah, it's much appreciated.
Oh my God, it's fucking humbling. You're just like, what are we doing? What? Like, what? This is so weird. Like, because it feels like just talking to you. I don't feel like we're talking to anybody.
Yeah. It's something.
Yeah, it is something.
Fortunate, man. I love it.
It is. It's really great, and we appreciate everyone and appreciate you guys messaging us and emailing us. I actually got an email this morning from Alex Joyce. I just want to shout him out. Just like a normal fucking email. Just like, he was like, "Hey, Happy New Year. And thank you guys so much for coming back." And I appreciate it so much. And I was like, this is, what world am I in? This is wild. It's just wild. And I appreciate you all so much. So, speaking of that, I'm ready to take your money. Our shirts are on sale still. Pre-order closes Sunday the 17th at midnight Eastern Standard Time. We have all sizes. I added a bunch of sizes because we got a bunch of requests for different sizes. So check that out, store.ihatehorror.com. Head over there and get your orders in. If you're a Patreon member, the Goblin tier, you do have a discount code waiting for you. It's one of the posts in there. So if you're, just make sure you use that post. And if you missed it, just shoot me an email and I'll make sure you get that discount applied. We're at patreon.com/ihatehorror, facebook.com/ihatehorror, and instagram.com/ihatehorror. That's it, right? Did I hit everything? Yeah. Okay.
Got it.
All right, cool. Joe, where can we find you?
Instagram, Bookdish1985.
Awesome. And that's it, man. I'm excited. New year, new us. That's it. It's not a new us. It's literally the exact same shit.
Same shit.
Same fucking shit. It's been happening for 6 years. And is it our 6 year? It's our 6-year anniversary.
Yeah. A couple weeks ago.
Fucking wild, right? Wild. And I also looked up our screen caps of because I was like, I should probably save the screen caps from when we decided to come back to the show. And it was so abrupt and so uncharming that like, I was like, I'm not going to post these. No one's going to give a shit about this.
Wait, what do you mean by screen caps?
I screen capped our messages to each other. Cause I was like,
okay.
Cause in my head, it seems so much more like romantic than it actually was. Or like, what's the word?
No, dude, I remember like yesterday I was at work, not at work. I was working in my basement, and you were like, "Hey, did you watch this movie?" And I was like, "Nah, should I?" And you're like, "Yeah." And we were like, "It's a piece of shit, huh?" And you're like, "You want to bring the horror show back?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure."
Dude.
Yeah, that was like the extent of it.
It's the least like romantic thing. And then I was just like, yeah, except can we not do Patreon pics? And you were like, yeah, that's what I was thinking. And I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah, I remember like walking upstairs to get a water, and I was like, "Oh, hey, we're gonna do the horror show again." And she was like, "Wait, what?" Like she was like all like ecstatic and be like, "How did this happen?" I'm like, Sean was just like, "You want to do it?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Wait, what?" Like that's it.
Just like how it ended.
Like, yeah, sure, I guess.
Well, I'm happy. It's been great. And
yeah, man.
So anyway, guys, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Hey, we might be able to do the live show in the new house. Maybe we'll see. so you can, not be fucking freezing cold. That would be good. But that's it, guys. Thank you so much. And make sure you check out our Patreon. We'll announce the live show for the end of the month. And that's it. Thank you all so much. For Joe, this is Sean. Stay weird. Adios.
I dissect movies all fucking day.
I wanna play.
I'm gonna watch what I'm not supposed to watch.
Dismember.
A fucking zombie getting sliced and diced.